Hey guys, John from the Tides Market. We get a lot of questions about what do I do with the fish? How can I elevate the fish? I'm going to show you a super easy, simple sauce that anybody can do. It's kind of it's just lemon butter. It's just food, guys, right? But it's kind of a beurre blanc, but then, you know, the classicalists in TikTok land are going to tell me that I'm wrong. So this is what I do. I take wine into a little pot and I put it on to reduce. I'm going to reduce it by half, just simmering away. My guys. All right, if you see a little fire, it's okay. It's just the alcohol burning off. So for a guy like me that doesn't drink, it's good. All the alcohol is burning off. A lot of questions too about what can you use other than wine. You could use broth. Vegetable broth, you could use really any liquid that you wanted. I guess you could use apple juice, you could use citrus, you could use any number of things to make this sauce. So as you can see, this is just boiling away, and don't be afraid, let it boil. We need it to reduce by half, 3/4. We want it, the French say au sec, which means almost dry, I think. Don't quote me, TikTok. So as you can see, there's less wine in there now. All we're trying to do is concentrate those flavors. That's why we're reducing it. So just let it go, let it go, let it go. It's going to be okay. Just let it go for another minute. A little bit longer. All right, next step. So we put in about a cup of wine. We reduced it by half. And now we're going to put in about a half a cup of cream. Heavy whipping cream. It's the good stuff, full of fat. That's what you're looking for. So all we're going to do now is we're going to bring that up to a boil, and we're going to reduce that by half. So now we're concentrating those floral Chardonnay flavors first, and then we're bringing the heavy cream into it next. Let that reduce down. So I'm letting this sucker boil. It's going to boil over. No, it's not. I'm going to stir it. I might turn it down just a hair. I'm going to stir that sucker. And just let it come back up. We want it to reduce out all of that water. What we want it to be left with is that good dairy fat. You may have to play with the fire a little bit, take it on and off the heat, but it's going to get to a point here in a second where it's just going to reduce. I'm going to come over and get my lemons. I've just got a lemon that I quartered, and I'm just going to squeeze them and put them in. We'll let that come back up to a boil. All right, we're boiling again. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Get that in there. I'm not quite on high heat, but I'm more like medium high. We'll say medium high. You see with these bubbles, and it's kind of an evolution, but these bubbles are a little thinner. I look at a lot of boiling stuff all day long, and I'll tell you, this is like a thin bubble. When it gets to the consistency that we're looking for, the bubbles get thicker and thicker. Obviously, the more it reduces, the thicker the liquid gets, the thicker the bubbles get. So it's just one of those things. It's sight, it's sound, I think the word is organoleptic, if I had to guess. Observations from the kitchen. So we're just waiting until we get a little bit further. My bubbles are still a little thin. Just a couple more minutes. This is also one of those sauces that if you walk away from it, you're gonna burn it. Just ask Austin. Bubbles are getting thicker. So we're almost at the point where we're ready to start adding some butter. But you can definitely see how it's getting thicker. It's reducing. Everything is just nicey. So now at this point, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to take it off the heat, and I've got, you guessed it, butter over here. I've got cold butter, and I'm going to add a little bit at a time, and I'm just going to whisk it in. I'm whisking in the butter. Just keeping that butter moving. It'll emulsify with the cream and the wine, and it makes this amazing sauce. You can put this on fish, you can put it on chicken, you can put it on vegetables. You can put it on rice. See how it's starting to thicken up? And then we'll strain it off and get the lemon out and any seeds that might be in there. And so as long as you keep the butter moving, it'll emulsify. If you let it stop and you quit stirring, the butter's going to melt and your sauce will break. We have a running joke to see what time of day that the sauce is going to break every single day. It's usually about 6:15. All right, Miss Holly's not here today, so I can use her table, so a little change of location. Don't worry, that's just butter. All I'm going to do is pour this in there. And we're going to taste it. Before we taste it, we're going to go ahead and strain it. Super good consistency. I'm very pleased with that. It's buttery, it's lemony, just the right amount of salt and pepper. It's delicious.